Good morning. What's going on, guys? Late for the 10,000th time? Yes. Let me just adjust the mic here. How's it hanging? Everyone got their coffee? I posted on Twitter that my sister bought me a bag of Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Oh, God. Shall we take a sip of it? Oh. Oh. Jesus. It tastes like the dregs at the bottom of, like, you know how you have a coffee pot just sitting there and being kept warm under the light, and like the bottom quarter of the pot is just slowly burning. It tastes like that. It's just it's just bitter. Ugh. Ugh. I used to work at Dunkin'. If I die and go to hell, there will be no water, only Dunkin' coffee. What the fuck? What? Why is Dunkin' Donuts so goddamn popular in the States? Devicino? Don't mind if I do. I'm on a train, Dev, and I can't get a coffee because you need a Coof Poke Pass. Explain that shit to me. What do you mean a Coof Poke Pass? So, it is Boxing Day. How are you all doing? How's everything going? How did your Christmases go, guys? Did you have a good Christmas? Now, I know Americans don't know what Boxing Day is. That's because Americans are plebs. They're fucking plebs. But Boxing Day is the day after Christmas. It tastes like smoking a used cigarette you found off the side of the road. Jesus. Yeah, I know. But hold on. You can be on the bus, but you need a proof of vaccination to be able to buy a drink. What? My wife spent Christmas with her family. I had no presents, and I'm still waiting on a job offer I interviewed for last week. Not having fun. Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry, dude. I'm in a Dunkin' Donuts right now. I'm gonna try this coffee again. Hold on. Mm. I mean, it'll wake you up, but fuck, you'll hurt while you're doing it. Okay, so we did Christmas on, I think, the 23rd, because we can't, like, you can't get together on the day of anymore. People are adults; they got lives. And me and my sister, we're not kids anymore. So everyone came over to my house. My sister and my parents came in to the big city to come visit my place. They Here's the thing: my parents still live in my hometown, and my sister recently moved back to my hometown, and now they're all like shrieking at me to move back to my hometown as well. And I was like, no, fuck you, fuck off. I'm not moving. I like it here. Um, to be fair, I don't like it here that much, but I want to move to a different city, not back to my hometown. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Like once COVID lets up, I'm out, dude. I'm vanishing. But they came here. They came into the city to hang out with Naomi and I for like a day. Um, so on the I think it was on the 23rd, we were all here. We did a Christmas. We exchanged our gifts, though Naomi and I had already given each other our gifts earlier. Reject city living, return to hometown? No. I like my fiber optic internet, thank you. My hometown sucks too, but in a completely different. I understand the point of view that cities suck. Like cities do fucking suck, but like my hometown is now just a meth riddled shithole with no like. There's nothing there, just fucking meth heads and failing businesses. Like, why would I want to move back there? Reject city, go to a town different than your hometown. My goal is to end up probably in like in a suburb like outside of Ottawa. That'd be nice. I don't want to live downtown. I've already done city living. Fuck that. What's the difference between SFO and Dev? Well, SFO is the name of the channel, and Dev is my name. Have you played the new Five Nights at Freddy's? No, I have not. I don't. I don't have much interest in it. I'm sorry. Do you? Yo, Breaking Bad. Get out of here. Your hometown has no druggies and fiber optic internet. Well, good, lucky for you. It's the opposite for me. Small town Ontario is almost entirely made out of used needles. Yes. Ever plan on fleeing Kanakistan? I mean, I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind living in the States, but like, I don't have the money for it. I really don't. And like, I don't think I could bring my staff with me. All the people that I've hired and that I want to hire, they're not like. It might not be possible for me to do it. Oh, God. The coffee is like keeping me going, but Jesus, it's no good. I don't know about Novara Media. I don't know anything about them. I've done the country living thing. I've lived in the city. I've lived in the country. I know both. I know the pros and cons of both. And now I'm just like, give me a safe suburb, half an hour outside of downtown in a big city, and I'll be happy. Fuck it. Become a Florida man. Flee to Florida. My goal. The thing is, the channel's making enough money. And by the way, thanks for any donations that come in today. Um, my channel's making enough money that I could either stagnate and like buy a house and buy a bunch of coomeristic shit and enjoy my life, or 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 I could rent or buy a warehouse and build a set and actually have like an office and then start hiring people and then hopefully expand. You know, roll the dice in expanding rather than just taking the bag now. And I am gonna roll the dice in expanding. That's the plan. That's why I hired Dave. Live with Lilith out in fucking California? No. Let me just adjust here. Ah. Okay. Buy an office house. Yeah, see, I know that Red Letter, not Red Letter Media, Linus Tech Tips did that. They just rented a house and they used it as an office. And they just worked out of the house for like a year and a half or 2 years, and then they eventually like got enough money to get a warehouse. And to be fair, I'm basically doing that here. You know, I work out of my house. Don't do a demo reel. Shaker, the thing is, I do want a warehouse and an office to be able to do to have sets, to have like a dedicated recording booth, to have like a place where I can do Game Boomers, my gaming channel. Um, like dedicated locations that aren't inside my house, so I can actually have like a real house and a life. But at the same time, and I will do things that aren't just politics in that warehouse. But I will keep doing these videos. Like these videos aren't going to go away. Obviously not. Like if I just decided to like turn this channel into like a Red Letter Media clone or something, or just started doing like movie reviews, I'm pretty sure most of you guys would just take off. So no, I'm not gonna start. I'm not gonna stop doing what's keeping me going. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's just me rambling. Um, So we had the Christmas. It was pretty good. I've been streaming on Game Boomers with Naomi, my girlfriend. We've been streaming the Yakuza Kiwami 2 because Yakuza's 0, 1, 2, and I think 5 all take place during Christmas. We played Yakuza 1 a couple years ago, and now we're playing Yakuza 2. And they're okay. They're okay games, you know. I know why people like them. Dev, get a garage loft built and used as a studio instead of automotive related stuff. A lot of my friends who race teams do. What do you mean? When are you gonna soundproof your closet so you don't have to listen to traffic during your videos? Honk honk. I subscribe to your Game Boomers with Amazon Prime. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Naomi and my girlfriend. Oh shit, there's 2 girls. Oops. The cat's out of the bag, guys. All right. Shall we get to the news? Because I don't have I have like 1 package, so not enough to open yet. But so maybe we should just get to the news, eh? Maybe we should just get to the news. Because oh yes, we did do like the Minecraft Christmas event, and that was fun. But I'm gonna wait for the next Christmas event or the next event. Maybe I'll wait like 4 months or something. Actually, no. There will be one more event opening the new map for the new patch 1.18 on the SFO Minecraft server. But beyond that, I think I will wait for any kind of like big events. JSO Havens for $5. Thank you very much for the donation. Wouldn't mind an occasional DevBuster movie review. Merry belated Christmas. Thank you. My idea. All right. Get out of here, you fucking Russian bot ass. Fuck you. Hey, how do I hide this user? Okay. Okay, so you know how I did that Santa Inc. review a few weeks ago? I think was it a week ago or 2 weeks ago? Oh, yeah, Mark, I'll accept an Amazon gift card. Sure, thank you. I did the Santa Inc. video. I wouldn't mind having a section of this channel where I review movies or review shows like that. It's just that when the review moves beyond the political, I just don't know how much interest there would be. Because most people are here for my political commentary, you know? That's why Game Boomers has like 5,000 subs on YouTube, and I get like 50 viewers on Twitch or something compared to what I get here. So, I don't know how much interest there is, but I could try it. I do want to do a review of Cowboy Bebop. You know, people are now comparing Taiwan to Cuba to counter socialism only failed because of outsider intervention. But, okay, Taiwan was never socialist, though. That's so stupid. Taiwan was never a part of socialism. It was never part of Chinese socialism because they were always independent doing their own thing. Game Boomers has call the movie review section Devo Reel. Oh God. No, see, I know I don't always have to be political, but I also know where the money is and where the views are, and that is in my political content. That's why my other projects only make a fraction of what this makes. I mean, I'm not consistently like I do talk about politics every little bit on Game Boomers, but it's also mainly a comedy show. But there's a reason it doesn't get the same amount of views, and it's because video game comedy shows are a dime a dozen. Legitimately classically liberal commentators on YouTube are not a dime a dozen. They're quite rare. Review Cuties. We did a review of Cuties Alt Racer. We did that back when it was new. Naomi and I watched it and we did a review. Distance for $5. I'm here for you, not your politics. I like your outlook on a number of subjects, so I'd be fine if you wanted to do movie reviews. Well, thank you very much. This is just an excuse to go back to anime reviews? No. Spoken like such an Adam. It's a comedy show. Well, SFO. I mean, I don't mind being comedic, but this is not primarily a comedy show. Game Boomers is. Game Boomers is. But I mean, If I can weave in enough lesser political topics, like cultural topics instead, or like movie reviews in between the more hard and fast political theory videos, maybe I'll do that. If there's enough demand for it, maybe I'll do it. All right. Actually, Shaker Silver, it's because they specifically want to do that. So if you watch like a Destiny or a Vosh, they will spend all their day playing video games, and talking politics. But most people don't tune in for the video games; they tune in for the politics. Like Vosh just did a playthrough of Metroid Prime, but during his playthrough of Metroid Prime, he was interviewing people, he was debating people, he was talking about various things, he was taking questions from the chat. Um, and most people just weren't fucking there for the Metroid Prime playthrough. If you, for some reason, were not interested in politics and decided to go on YouTube and find a Metroid Prime playthrough and watch it, you would not watch Vosh's. The video game content to the politics streamers is secondary. They just have it on in the background. Even people like It's a Gundam. If you watch It's a Gundam, sometimes you'll see like snippets of video game stuff in the background of the video, even though it has nothing to do with the video. It's just something to put on. It's just something to put on. Meanwhile, when I do Game Boomers, the game is the point. I talk about how the game plays. I talk about how the game looks and sounds. I talk about the story. We're talking about video games, and we're also making jokes as well. It's more of like a legitimate let's play. I am in Ontario, yes. So even though I'm not against talking politics on Game Boomers, I don't do it. Um, I don't make politics the center of the show. Xerxes for $5. Merry Christmas, Dev. Hope your holiday went well. Thank you very much. Let's Plays are dead and politics killed them. Yeah, kinda. But you know what? Even though it gets less views, I like the way that the show is. I like the way that it's kind of comfy. All right. Let's continue. Welcome to the Shill Zone, guys. If you want to join the $5 club, give a monthly $5 tip through one of the 4 sources on screen. Patreon.com/ShortFatOtaku. Subscribestar.com/ShortFatOtaku. The YouTube's membership button right below this video or this stream. And the Twitch.tv/GameBoomers sub button. The sub button over on my gaming channel. Has to be $5 recurring so that the bot will automatically put you in because it's all handled by bots. If you send 100 USD to my PayPal, either me or my mods, once you provide a receipt in the DMs, will put you into the $5 club for life. If you want to mail me stuff, there is the P.O. Box. Once I get 5 packages, I devote a section of this stream to opening your packages on camera. Yeah, streamers killed Let's Plays, but streamers also talk a lot of politics, Shaker, which is the point. Is that I don't gatekeep politics out of Game Boomers, but I also don't make it the focus. When people come in and just sit down and want to like completely distract from the game in the chat and have like a one-on-one political conversation, I'm just like I'll answer a few questions, but eventually I'm just like, chill out, man. Like I'm here to play a game, which is the truth. Yeah, Brodiac, exactly. Dev's been making a big point about being able to put politics away and have a life with people outside of your political views in his videos. Yes, and Game Boomers is the space for me. I do a lot of politics stuff, both on and off camera regarding SFO. I want a section of my life where I'm not doing politics, and Game Boomers is that. At least not seriously. Here we go. Ready to look at some garbage, guys? Ready to watch some fucking nonsense? Let me just move this up here. Actually, I have to schedule something with Lilith. Hold on. I'll just ask her if we're going to record this week for a new thingy. Oh yeah, guys, go sub to the Devin Lilith channel because that channel will be getting probably in the new year we'll be transferring the Tubcast to that channel. So make sure you sub to Devin Lilith. All right. You ever considered bringing Gundam on? Yeah, of course. Hacker noises. Wait, Millie Wiggs, weren't you the one who said that like the stream is better without Minecraft? Like the last time I streamed, or something? Get out of here, you you fuck up. Here, let's go. Let's go to the news. Where's the button? Okay, here it is. I found the button. Check this out, guys. Woman billed $700 after sitting in ER waiting room for 7 hours, leaving without treatment. For those of you who say that I was wrong about my universal healthcare video, no. The answer is no. I'm not wrong. I was correct. What the fuck is this? A woman said she was billed for a trip to the emergency room even though she didn't receive any treatment. She went to the Emery Decatur Hospital ER in July for a head injury. She sat in the waiting room for hours, but with no end in sight, she decided to leave. I sat there for 7 hours. There's no way I should be sitting in an emergency room for 7 hours. A couple of weeks later, a surprise came in her mailbox. It was a bill for nearly $700. I didn't get my vitals taken. Nobody called my name. I wasn't seen at all. So I called them, and she said it's hospital protocol even if you're just walking in and you're not seen. When you type in your social, that's it. You're going to get charged. Well, fuck that. It's my protocol not to pay for something I didn't get. Jesus. She said she was told it was an emergency room visit fee or facility fee. It's often added to a person's total hospital bill, so it might not be as noticeable as it is in this case. An email sent to her by an Emory Healthcare patient says, or a patient financial services employee says, you get charged before you're seen. You don't get charged for being seen. Wow. What a fuck. What? That's some shit, dude. Emory Healthcare takes all patient concerns seriously and appreciates this has been brought to our attention. Our teams are currently looking into this matter and will follow up directly with the individual. Yeah. Once the story blows over, it'll just be, pay us. Fuck you. Pedophile, age 60, who identifies as a female, is jailed for 20 months after having cocaine-fueled sex with a dog. Jesus. Claire Goodyear, 60 years old, has been sent to prison for 20 months. God damn. Trans woman Claire Goodyear, who was previously known as John and convicted... You're just like dead naming straight up in the article, all right. And convicted of child abuse images as a man in the past. Holy fuck! What the fuck? What? 60... Goodyear, 60, was described as manipulative and deceitful by a probation officer at the Chester Crown Court sentencing today. The pervert, just to be, this article is also not taking a neutral stance, but okay. The pervert was listed under a male name, but with a note added to be addressed in the hearing as Claire. Yeah, dog pilled. Guys, the dog pill video is still on my BitChute. A sexual harm prevention order is under her new name, but it is not clear whether she will serve time in a man's or woman's prison. Judge Stephen Everett called the crime in taking part in the Dog Act with other adults as despicable, disgusting, and depraved. Goodyear has twice been convicted of possessing indecent images of children back in 2006 and 2009. with the judge admitting the defendant had been astonishingly lucky to avoid previous spells behind bars after receiving suspended sentences. Jesus. Like, okay, I get it. Like, some people just can't pass. I understand. But why are you wearing, like, a wig meant for a 19-year-old and making it so much worse? A 60-year-old woman should have, like Queen Elizabeth style hair. Like, right here. Queen Elizabeth style hair or something. Wow. Oh, God. A prosecutor had sent the police to Goodyear's home on July 19, 2019 to carry out a routine check due to being on the sex offenders register for life. The officers took a laptop which contained evidence Goodyear had searched the internet for bestiality content, and when a full analysis of the equipment was finally completed some 2 years later, it emerged hidden folders containing 31 indecent images of a sex act with a dog. She admitted possession of the images. She had fantasized about it for a number of years, and after talking about it with people in Northwich, was put in touch with others. She traveled down there in December of 2018 and took part in the sex act with other people and the dog. On one arrest on June 17th, police found another pen drive and a handbag containing the same images and 3.5 grams of cocaine. Oh my God, dude. Oh, fuck. This is what the judge said. This incident took place some 3 years ago. This picture is now one of sporadic offending. This is not a case where the offending is getting more and more serious. Actually, no. This is what her lawyer says. She will do everything asked of her by the court, and there are tentative signs of improvement in her attitude and approach. The judge said, "You are a long, long way from changing your life. You deceitfully took part in a cocaine-fueled incident with other persons. Since the terrible offense took place, you kept the images unashamedly for your own sexual gratification. In the middle of all of this, you failed to comply with the terms of an order, which some might say is a minor breach, but it's not the first time. Your record is appalling. A message must go out. If you commit such disgusting behavior, then you must go to prison." So Goodyear cried and now is going to prison for 20 months, a 10-year sexual harm prevention order placed on her, and she is now ordered to go on the sex offenders register again. Wow. What a fucking shit show. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue down the same path. Girl 18 marries a stray dog from her village in India in order to lift a curse. I guess this is not just white women. I'm joking, YouTube, you fuckos, I'm joking. A girl has married a dog to please her family, who think in doing so she will rid herself of a curse they believe she carries. In the barking mad ceremony, 18-year-old Mangli Munda had to walk down the aisle with a stray dog her father found, as her fellow villagers in Jharkhand State, India, say this will pass the curse from her to the animal. She said, "I am not happy with this marriage." Her husband, a dog named Shiru, even arrived in his own chauffeur-driven car, although he may not have been entirely aware of what was happening. The ceremony is part of a ritual in the village in which young women are married to dogs first, and then when they marry a man, as in a human man, the marriage will be blessed with longevity. Why? What the fuck's the point of this? This is the only way we can get rid of her bad luck and ensure the benevolence of the village. Oh, the dog took a nap during the ceremony. Oops. Everything was carried out in proper form for a formal Hindu wedding, with Shinu sitting patiently at the side of his new bride throughout, although it was not legally binding, allowing Mangli to now find a suitable partner. Now, with her curse lifted, she will be able to find a suitable human husband. She said, "Yes, I will marry a man one day. Every girl dreams of marrying a prince." Wow. They say you gotta kiss a lot of frogs. My God. Everyone sip your coffees in remembrance of this young lady. TikToker says Target let her steal $3,000 worth of stuff over several years so they can actually send her to jail. Oh my God. A TikToker claimed in a viral TikTok video that Target let her steal $3,000 worth of goods over several years so she can go to jail. The video on TikTok has over 1.4 million views and 174,000 likes. The overlay text reads as she pretends to cry, "Stealing from Target for years and thinking nothing of it. Them compiling a whole case against me over the years and letting me steal $3,000 so they can actually send me to jail. Oops." One woman joked, "Is my limit $2,999? Another one asked, "Can I call them and get my current balance?" The alleged $3,000 threshold and its origin is unknown, but it could be tied to her state's theft and larceny laws. And yes, obviously, Target keeps tabs on people. All these places do. If you walk out of a store with stuff too many times, they are going to come after you. Like, fucking hell. They have cameras, they have facial recognition, they can track you by your credit card number when you check out, and also through your app if you use the app. Like, dude, you're fucked. You're going to jail. What the fuck are you doing just walking out with shit? Metallurgist admits faking steel test results for Navy subs. Dude, this could get people killed. If the metal isn't up to task, the sub will just crumple under the water. A metallurgist in Washington state pleaded guilty to fraud Monday after she spent decades faking the results of strength tests on steel that was being used to make U.S. submarines. Elaine Marie Thomas, 67, of Auburn, Washington, was the director of metallurgy at a foundry in Tacoma that supplied steel casings used by Navy contractors Electric Boat and Newport News Shipbuilding to make submarine hulls. From 1985 to 2017, Thomas falsified the results of strength and toughness tests for at least 240 productions of steel, about half the steel the foundry produced for the Navy. The tests were intended to show that the steel would not fail in a collision or in certain wartime scenarios. There was no allegation that any submarine hulls failed, but authorities said the Navy had incurred increased costs and maintenance to ensure they remained seaworthy. Thomas faces up to 10 years in prison and a $1 million fine when she is sentenced in February. However, the Justice Department would said it would recommend a prison term at the low end of whatever the court determines is the standard sentencing range in her case. Wow, what the fuck? Her attorney said that Thomas took shortcuts. Miss Thomas never intended to compromise the integrity of any material and is gratified that the government's testing does not suggest that the structural integrity of any submarine was in fact compromised. This offense is unique in that it was neither motivated by greed nor any desire for personal enrichment. She regrets that she failed to follow her moral compass. Admitting to false statements is hardly how she envisioned living out her retirement years. Well, fuck you. Thomas's conduct came to light in 2017 when a metallurgist being groomed to replace her noticed suspicious test results and alerted their company, Kansas City-based Bradkin Inc., which acquired the foundry in 2008. Bradkin fired Thomas and initially disclosed its findings to the Navy, but then wrongfully suggested that the discrepancies were not the result of fraud. That hindered the Navy's investigation into the scope of the problem as well as its efforts to remediate the risks to its sailors. The company agreed to pay $10.9 million in a deferred prosecution agreement. It seems like she was just fucking lazy, dude. She just didn't want to do it. Like, it wasn't even like oh, she secretly hates America. Oh, she's getting paid off. Oh, she's skimming off the top somehow. She was just fucking lazy. Wow. It is time for us to don our headphones. Well, you guys are already listening through headphones, probably. I gotta turn mine on because we're gonna be watching a couple videos here, guys. Check out this shit. Homeless drug addicts are attacking people on trains in Los Angeles with flamethrowers. Oh my god. What the fuck is this guy doing? Whoa! What the fuck? What the? Dude. Okay, this is when everyone fucking jumps on this guy and kicks the ever-loving shit out of him. Holy fuck. Alright, what's the next one I got? Oh yeah. Okay. Check this cancerous shit out.
So today I came out to my students.
Why?
Here's a little story. So in my 5th grade classroom, we have a unit where we talk about identity and how people identify. And we talk about traditions and customs that are handed down from ancestors and things like that. So I modeled for the kids today how I identify myself. And in doing so, I told them that I identify as a mom, as a sister and a daughter, as a teacher. I said, and I identify as a cis woman. And I explained what that was because they had no idea what I was talking about.
It's grade 5.
And then I said, and I identify as gay. In my 17 years of teaching, I've never come out to my kids before. And
why would they care?
I was so nervous to even say it out loud to them. But they didn't even bat an eye. It was really awesome. So today I came out to my...
Okay, so I recall being in school. And I recall not giving a shit what sexuality my teachers were. I didn't even think of them in that way because I was a child and I didn't care. It didn't matter to me if my teacher had a husband or a wife. It's none of my business. They're just my teacher. Their extension into my life was professional and was involved in them teaching me stuff. It had nothing to do with their personal life. I didn't care where they lived. I didn't care who their kids were. I didn't care who their spouse was. There is no reason to come out to your kids as gay or, frankly, as straight. It doesn't matter. The only acceptable way to do this sort of thing, the only acceptable way, is like if for some reason the teacher is talking about something that happened in their life, because sometimes I recall at one point my grade 8 teacher talked about a car that he just bought because it was relevant to whatever science lesson we were doing about gasoline. And he's like, well, I bought a car and here's how my car works. It's like, okay, fair enough. You bring in a little bit of your personal life. And he said something about how, like, his wife was mad at him that he spent so much money on a car. Haha, okay. He didn't say, I need you all to know that I am straight and I have a wife, and that's how this story makes sense. No, you just say, oh, yeah, this woman should be like, oh yeah, my girlfriend at one point didn't like this, and haha. You don't need to make it a big fucking thing. She didn't tell us her blood type. All right. Okay. Let's check this out. Oh God, have you seen this? Check this shit out, guys. Honestly, the tides are turning on the mandates thing, pretty much everywhere, and you see it more and more and more. So check this out.
Yes, you are.
Yeah,
You're
put your fucking
absolutely right.
mask on. Who invited you to come
I'm
sit
eating.
Put your fucking mask on.
ass up?
want me
Don't
to
you dare
pour this
talk to
over
me
your
like
head?
that.
Your mask is down, lady.
You're standing
fucking
yourself
way I want
up.
to.
Stand your ass up. Stand your ass up.
Sit down, Karen.
Karen?
You're goddamn Karen.
No.
Sit down. Sit down, Karen.
Sit down, pussy.
Pussy, no, you're the pussy.
Oh, no,
Right
you're
there,
the
there.
dick.
Ma'am, do you want the police to meet you on the ground?
What about him?
Mask up. Now.
Mask up.
Put your
I'm
mask up.
Mask
eating
up.
and drinking.
Tell him
I'm
to
eating and drinking.
Tell him
You
to
got
mask
your
up.
mask down, bitch.
Sir,
Did you call me a bitch?
Yes, I did.
stop it again.
Oh, that's assault. It's assault.
You're going to jail. As soon as we get in Atlanta, you're going to jail. Bitch. Karen. Hey, spit on me. Now you're double going to jail. Bitch.
Oh my god, dude, lady. Holy shit.
You fucking piece of shit.
Piece of pussy. Sit down, Karen.
Fuck you.
Sit down, Karen. Sit down, fucking Karen.
Oh my god.
Put your fucking mask on. Tell him to put his mask on. Put your fucking
She
mask
punched
on.
me. She scratched my face. I want her the fuck
Put
out
your
of here.
fucking mask on. Put your fucking mask
Put
on.
yours on, bitch.
I will put my mask
Oh shit,
on.
everyone's getting involved now.
I will put my mask on when you put your mask on.
Oh my god.
Thank
Yep.
you.
She went crazy on the airplane. Punched this man in the face, spit on him, scratched him, pour hot water on my leg.
Jesus. She goes to jail. Holy fuck, dude. Yeah, man. Yeah, she spat in his face like about halfway through the video, scratched him and hit him, and now she's going to jail. Yeah. People are fucking ridiculous. Screaming, put your mask, like, okay. You guys, you know that early in the pandemic, before it actually hit the West, I was making videos saying, listen, stock up on the supplies, look out, it could be bad. We're getting some weird videos out of China. We don't know how bad this virus is. Like, it could really be bad, so chill the fuck out. Like, hunker down, prepare for a bad situation. Hopefully it won't be bad, but prepare. And I was saying that, Sargon was saying that, Styx was saying that. Then after a couple months, we realized, after like 2 or 3 months, we realized, oh, it's actually not that bad at all. It's actually just like it's worse than a flu in terms of total death rate, but it's not a civilization-ending virus. So we were all like, okay, time to chill the fuck out. Just chill out, okay? And the Delta variant came out, and that was like still pretty serious. It was just as deadly, but more transmissible. So that was pretty serious. Then the Omicron variant came out, and that was way more transmissible, and way less deadly. And I'm sure you'll remember, I said this like a year and a half ago. I said, viruses tend to mutate to be more transmissible and less deadly to make it easier for them to propagate. That's how they survive. If they kill you instantly, they can't reproduce. So the fact that Omicron is basically an extremely neutered version of COVID means that once that becomes the dominant strain and everyone catches it and nobody goes to the fucking hospital over it, coronavirus will be over. And at that point, there will be no excuse for any of this nonsense. But as the Omicron variant becomes dominant, people are not ramping down the restrictions. They're demanding even more of them. They're screaming. So people are like, fuck it, I'm done. Like, I know people who a year ago were like, listen, this is serious, put your fucking mask on. Like, I'm following you around in the store to make sure that you wear your fucking mask, all right? Stay the fuck home if you don't have to go outside. And even those people are saying, this is getting stupid. This is getting retarded how bad this is getting. So, like, chill the fuck out. Everything's fine. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you losing your shit? Like, public opinion is turning. But some people, they're seeing the ramp down. They're seeing people decide to slowly but surely resist all of these lockdowns and these mandates, and especially these the vaccine passports. My God, And they're freaking out even more. They're like, oh my God, you're all going crazy. I need to shriek at the top of my fucking lungs. Holy fuck. These people are insane. Basically, everyone's thinking that, like, you talk to some people on the extreme right, and they're talking about how this is never going to end, and you're going to have your social credit system set up, and blah, 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 and that could happen. But I think what's more likely to happen is that people will just become apathetic. They won't care to follow it anymore. They'll be like, I'm doing whatever I want again, fuck you. And eventually it will lead to a point where either the government has to become openly full-on tyrannical towards everybody, or they'll have to give it up. Because it will be too politically unpopular to keep going. And I honestly don't think that the governments of the West are going to, like, implement martial law and crack down on their entire populations. I don't think that they'll do that. I don't think we're at that point yet. Yeah, I don't wear a mask anymore either. Okay, let's continue. Speaking of fucking mandates, the White House has said they will move forward with all of their mandates, despite the court freeze. The White House on Monday urged businesses to move forward with implementing rules for coronavirus vaccines after a federal court stayed President Biden's vaccine or test mandate for private companies. We think people shouldn't wait. We say do not wait to take actions that will keep your workplace safe. It is important and critical to do, and waiting to get more people vaccinated will lead to more outbreaks and sickness. I think the court eventually, after the stay, said that they were good to go. But I think it will keep actually going up the chain of courts, because there are some states that are just like, no, we won't. Fuck you. This is not your jurisdiction, feds. Piss off. Yeah, lots of people have to get the jab or they lose their job. That's true. I mentioned at the start of the show, I intend to move and get a warehouse. Well, if I end up getting a warehouse and an office before COVID is over, and I have, like, staff coming in, I've already made a personal decision to not demand masks in my workplace, demand jabs in my workplace. It's none of my business what people do in their private life. But anyway, this is like a long article for a short thing. It's literally just the Biden administration has decided to go against the court. Okay. All right, dude. Mom shopping in Aldi. I think Aldi's a British chain. Left crying and shaking at the speed of the aggressive cashier, and says that food was falling on the floor. Oh my God. She's scanning super... The 60-year-old Karen is scanning super fast. Oh my God. Nicola Fuller, who's 35, from North Yorkshire, was with her 3 kids when she found herself involved in a tense confrontation with a disgracefully rude staff member. Oh, it's a guy, not a girl. The man's ferocious speed on the conveyor belts left her traumatized. Nicola claimed the man refused to slow down his scanning, even as food fell from the packing area onto the floor like a slot machine. Customers were left gawping as the determined cashier made huge towers of products, which with her left to frantically bag food as quickly as possible. She said, he could see my struggle when a tin finally fell. I began crying and shaking. I knelt to the floor to pick up the food while simultaneously trying to watch my children. I asked the cashier to please stop scanning through food, and then it felt like he was throwing the items at me. Oh my God. You gotta go fast, guys. Another colleague from the supermarket came over to defuse the situation, and he was understanding. The customer said she had been loyally shopping at Aldi for the past 10 years, but now she feels worried about returning. Oh, why? I mean, to be fair, Aldi's speedy reputation is no mistake. The supermarket claims that its tills are 40% quicker than rivals. It's all part of Aldi's plan to be as efficient as possible, and this, the budget shop claims, helps keep costs low for shoppers. Efficient barcodes and packaging means staff are able to scan items as quickly as possible, with the majority of products having multiple barcodes to speed up the process. It also uses shelf-ready packaging. I'm close to an anxiety attack every time I shop at Aldi due to the mad speed. The speed of an Aldi checkout clerk is inversely proportional to your speed at parking your bag or trolley. Wow. That's incredible. Going too fast. J Rob for $5. Thank you. Aldi is German. Oh, thank you very much. I didn't know. And British Knight. Aldi is a German chain operating in the UK. It's a cheap supermarket compared to Tesco and ASDA. Oh, I see. Well, thank you very much. It sounds like a Freshco or a Food Basics here. Peter Dinklage claims backlash to Game of Thrones was because people wanted the pretty white people to ride off into the sunset together. Fuck you. No, it's because the show sucked in the final season. Dinklage's comments came in a wide-ranging interview discussing his latest film, Cyrano, as well as Game of Thrones at the New York Times. The New York Times' Kyle Buchanan brought up Game of Thrones, asking Dinklage, George R. R. Martin wanted Game of Thrones to go on for 2 more seasons. Do you think it should have, or was it the right time to end? The actor responded, it was the right time. No less, no more. You don't want to wear out your welcome, although I'm not sure that show could have. No, it did. Season 8, it definitely wore out its welcome. Dinklage then provided his opinion on why there was so much backlash to the show's ending. I think the reason there was backlash with the ending is because they were angry at us for breaking up with them. We were going off the air, and they didn't know what to do with their Sunday nights anymore. They wanted more, so they backlashed about that. You know what you do with your Sunday nights now? You watch Adam and Sitch. Ha ha! Fuck off, Peter Dinklage. Our lives don't revolve around Game of Thrones. Jason, thanks for the $5. Aldi is also in the U.S. They load our carts here for us. Also, they made my mom get the bad, or else she would lose her 10+ year career with them. Oh, I mean the bad? You mean the jab? I understand. Thank you for the $5. We had to end when we did because what the show was really good at was breaking preconceived notions, subverting expectations, breaking new ground. Villains became heroes and heroes became villains. Well, Jon Snow was always the hero. If you know your history, when you track the progress of tyrants, they don't start off as tyrants. I'm talking about, spoiler alert, what happened at the end of Game of Thrones with Daenerys, the character change. It's gradual, and I loved how power corrupted these people. What happens to your moral compass when you get a taste of power? Human beings are complicated characters, you know? No. Fuck you. This is just... I think Buchanan would then ask a follow-up. I think some people really did want a happily ever after ending, even though Game of Thrones told us it was not that show from the very beginning. Dinklage replied, they wanted the pretty white people to ride off into the sunset together. By the way, it's fiction. There's dragons in it. Move on. The show subverts what you think, and that's what I love about it. Yes, it was called Game of Thrones, but at the end, the whole dialogue when people were approaching the street was, who's going to be on the throne? I don't know why that was their takeaway, because the show was really more than that. Probably because it's called Game of Thrones. Fuck, dude. One of my favorite moments was when the dragon burned the throne, because it just sort of killed that whole conversation, which is really irrelevant and kind of brilliant on behalf of the show, on the show's creator. Shepard's not about that. Listen. It was about that, because in the end, Bran ended up on the throne, which is a terrible choice for a king. And also, the dragons shouldn't know what the throne is. The dragons shouldn't understand what it represents. You fucking mong. Anyway. People still like Game of Thrones, but nobody likes Season 8. Look at this. Game of Thrones. 89%, 85% on Rotten Tomatoes. Season 8, 55-30. Nobody likes this shit. Nobody likes this shit, dude. How about we subvert your acting career? All right, what's next? Pig poops out a pedometer and starts a fire. What? A fire on a farm in northern England was accidentally set by one of the pigs. The firebug, fire hog, had swallowed a pedometer worn by one of its fellow pigs to demonstrate that the animals were free range. But after the pig excreted the pedometer, or no, it's pedometer. No, pedos. You're measuring the pedos. After the pig excreted the pedometer, copper in its battery sparked a flame in the pig dung and dry hay bedding on March 7th. The fire spread to cover about 807 square feet before it was contained. 4 pig pens caught fire at the farm. Fire crews from nearby Tadcaster and what the fuck is this? Knaresborough? Fucking Britbong names, dude. Rushed in with hoses to save the bacon. Oh. Well, that happened. Death by pig crap. British Knight, literally Animal Farm. In recent years, lithium-ion batteries in personal devices such as cell phones and vape pens have spontaneously combusted, sometimes causing severe burns and even broken bones. However, no animals involved in the pig pen fire, including the fire hog who inadvertently started the blaze, were harmed by the flames or smoke. Well, that's nice, isn't it? Shut up. New York man with severe deformity gets a new nose for Christmas. Oh my god. Dude. This guy must have had a shitty fucking life as a kid. He's got like a Squidward nose, for real. Oh my, like it's not that better after the surgery, but Jesus, it's at least kind of better. Man, this poor bastard. Jesus. His nose is hanging over his mouth. Oh my god. It's a Minecraft villager. Conrado Estrada had grown used to wearing face masks long before the rest of us. His nose had grown so bulbous that he had trouble eating and breathing. People would stare at me. Children would ask their mothers what happened to me, and I would get around it by using a face mask all the time. Poor guy. Not just a cosmetic nuisance, his outsized schnoz could also obstruct breathing, cause snoring, and functionally speaking, just get in the way. It had reached my lips, and whenever I would take a bite when I ate, it would touch the spoon. Now with the mask and his nose out of the way, his friends and family can finally see him smiling. It's all thanks to a chance meeting with plastic surgeon Dr. Thomas Romo, director of facial plastic reconstructive surgery at Lenox Hill Hospital. Romo told the Post he was sort of excited to meet Estrada when he showed up at his home in Bronxville with a paint crew about 5 months ago. This was a bad one, he said of Estrada's proboscis, which appeared as if he had a penis on his nose. It was a smoldering infection, and it would have just kept going. Jesus. Fuck, dude, that's rough. Oh my god. I had spent 6 years seeing doctors and skin specialists and nothing would get better. There is no efficient treatment for rhinopemia. For extreme cases, surgery was the only way to shrink his nose. Rhinopemia is rare and predominantly affects men. It usually begins to develop midlife and can grow unchecked in the absence of surgical intervention. I hadn't seen a rhinopemia in maybe 20 years. This has to be affecting his life, Romo thought. His relationship with other people, his ability to get work, and his self-esteem. Romo is used to doing pro bono surgery work through his Little Babyface Foundation, dedicated to providing surgery for underserved children with facial deformities. Not many people know how to fix this thing, and health insurance won't necessarily cover it. He saw me and gave me a hug, Estrada told the Post. He said, "I'm going to help you." It only took a few days and forms to sign before Estrada was in the operating room. Now, at close to 4 weeks since his surgery, he's back to work and living his life. It's not just the shape of his face that's changed. You think he won an Olympic gold medal. His chest is out, his face is out, he's a smiley guy. I feel great for him. Confidence makes people better and more productive in society. I'm doing everything I can to help my community. I want this community to flourish. Estrada says the reaction from loved ones has been enormous. I believe God sent an angel to take care of me, and that's how I see Dr. Romo. That's fucking dramatic, dude. Damn. Like, his nose still isn't great, but now he just has like a regular old man nose, you know? He doesn't have that. Jesus. Fuck. Poor bastard. Monkeys run away with COVID-19 test samples. Locals are now fearing spread of infection. A troop of monkeys attacked a lab technician carrying test samples. Oh my God. The incident took place in the premises of Meerut Medical College. The medics had collected samples for testing from 3 persons who were suspected to be infected by the deadly virus. However, before the samples could have been tested, the monkeys snatched them from the lab technician and ran away. The doctors have since collected fresh samples. Later, one of the monkeys who had attacked the lab technician was spotted atop a tree, chewing the sample collection kits. Part of some kits were spotted strewn on the ground under the tree. The menace of the monkeys is a recurrent phenomenon in the area, but this time the locals are now apprehensive about the spread of COVID-19 as the monkeys carry the test samples to nearby residential areas. Oh my God. The monkeys are now going to be getting COVID-19 and spreading them to humans. Holy shit. Florida man. Florida man. Florida man. Florida man with drugs around his penis denies they were his drugs. Florida authorities said they found cocaine and methamphetamine wrapped around a man's penis during a traffic stop. But the man denied the drugs were his. They stopped a vehicle driving without lights on at 4 a.m. last Saturday. The driver was arrested on charges of DUI and marijuana possession. They found a gun under the passenger seat and discovered the drugs while searching the passenger. The man said the drugs were not his, but didn't say who they belonged to. Wow. Florida man, guys. Florida man. Coffee's 3/4 done. I can't believe I drank this fucking Dunkin' Donuts garbage. Coast Guard frees sea turtle trapped in floating cocaine bales. Jesus. Cocaine appears to be making a comeback in the United States, and Coast Guard patrols are used to finding bales of the white powder floating on the surface of the sea, or hidden in small boats, or even in homemade submarines. But what homemade submarines? What the fuck? Hold on. What the crew of the cutter Thesis encountered in the Eastern Pacific during a 2-month mission was a surprise. A sea turtle trapped by the contraband. A military plane spotted the debris field and his team moved in to inspect. There were 26 rectangular packages containing cocaine strung together, likely jettisoned from a go-fast vessel. They probably felt the heat coming and got rid of it. The turtle was entangled, lines wrapped around its neck and fins. There were some marks on her neck, so she may have been there a day or two. Oh, damn, dude. The guardsmen freed the turtle from the jumble and seized the drugs. More than 800 kilos of cocaine. I gotta check this out, though. Homemade submarines? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Coast Guard busts homemade submarine. Seizes $181 million worth of cocaine. What? There was a 40-foot self-propelled semi-submersible in the Pacific Ocean, 200 miles south of Mexico. The guard sealed 275 bales of cocaine. They tried to tow the semi-submersible to shore, but it sank and took 4,000 pounds of cocaine with it. The guard recovered 12,000 pounds of drugs before the vessel sank. All you can see is the exhaust pipe and the cockpit from the air, so they're very difficult to see. Oh. So just like there's just more to it underwater? Just homemade ass subs? All right. All right. Michelle Odinette. Louisiana judge faces calls to quit over home video slurs. Oh, jeez. A U.S. judge is to take a leave of absence after video recorded at her home captured a racial slur directed at a burglar. So wait, a person breaks into her home, and in the heat of the moment, because there's a home fucking intruder, she calls the man a slur, trying to get him out of her house, and that's the problem. The problem that she dropped an N-bomb, not that he was breaking into her fucking house. A U.S. judge is to take leave of absence. Right, okay. Judge Michelle Odinette of Lafayette, Louisiana, said in a statement she had taken a sedative and had zero recollection of the incident. Oh, that's what's going on, eh? I'm sure. In the clip, voices are heard narrating CCTV footage, reportedly of a burglar caught outside the judge's house. The unseen people use an epithet and compare the suspect to a roach. He's breaking into her fucking house. One of the videos one of the voices in the video belonged to the judge and that she had used a racist slur. He would file a motion on Thursday for his client to go on unpaid leave. She is humiliated, embarrassed, and sorry for what she's done and the trouble she caused to the community. Shut up! No! You did nothing wrong! Free speech, especially in your own fucking house! The burglary shook me to my core and my mental state was fragile. I have zero recollection of the video and the disturbing language used during it. Anyone who knows me and my husband knows this is contrary to the way we live our lives. I am deeply sorry and ask for your forgiveness and understanding as my family and I deal with the emotional aftermath of this armed burglary. No! No! Don't fucking give in! Be like, yeah, I called him something bad. He broke into my fucking house. Hold on. So, the law accepts that you can shoot a home intruder because castle doctrine. It's your house, it's your property. He broke in. You can defend yourself inside your house. But you can't call him a slur. Jesus. This is some fucking bullshit, dude. German hacker turns 10 sausages into a working piano. Oh, dude, look at that. Some time ago, mayonnaise had been proven to be an instrument so mighty that we're guessing that anything can be an instrument if you try hard enough. Oops, I just kind of hit my mic. In the perfect example of precise and high-quality German engineering, hacker Patrick of Patrick's World has a new instrument named Bockwurst Clavier in line for music numbers, which is made up of 10 Bockwurst sausages that are connected to a computer to sound just like the keys of a piano. Oh. Wow. Germans love their sausages. However, this short video by a German YouTuber takes the concept up a notch. The video comes with a description. This is just a quick test of my brand new Bockwurst piano. Wow. He's going to start playing Megalovania on it, dude. Couple with identity disorders who have over 400 personalities between them reveal they sometimes go a day without eating because their child alter egos don't know how to cook. You could fucking teach them. Kai and Franz have both been diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder. It means the couple both have a number of different persons known as alters. Alters include boisterous children to quiet adults and emerge without warning. Simple tasks such as cooking and shopping are almost impossible for them. I do not believe these people ever go a day without eating. All right. They live in Cardiff. They've both been diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder and have more than 400 different personalities. In the 5-star documentary, My Multiple Personalities and Me, viewers are shown how Kai and Franz can both switch alters several times during a single trip to the supermarket, forcing them to try and appease each one with the shopping list. One of Franz's alters, Gray, says, it feels like we are shopping for 1,000 people. Imagine every time you went shopping, you've got an entourage of people saying, no, yes, no, yes. I think any parent can feel that. The different identities' backstories mean the couple can also go a day without eating as the younger alters don't know how to cook. Yeah. I don't think I buy this, dude. For Kai and Franz, their personalities range from children with a perceived age as young as 4 to adults in their 30s. There's been quite a few people who don't understand it or don't think it's real. People say it's fake, and that's up to them. But it would be a lot of effort to put myself through if it was fake. I would have had to be faking this for a really long time. I don't come out that often. It's usually the other alters that run my life for me, and they seem to do a better job than me a lot of the time. Having the comfort of someone else understanding what I'm going through and why, and not being upset when I am not around, it makes me feel safer and happier. People with DID often have a history of child abuse, generally starting before the age of 5. Kai tells how he suffered from trauma since birth until meeting Franz in 2011. The couple were introduced through an online forum for people living with DID. Franz explains how she experienced bad things as a toddler, but she can't remember much from back then. Now they're both in therapy. One of their hopes for the future is to be able to work, something that at the moment is impossible with their condition. So, they're just sucking up taxpayer money? Is that what's going on here? Oh my God. Okay. 400 personalities, all of them insufferable. Okay. This is going to be a 2-part story here. Part 1 is from July 2011. Journalist stages her own rape to cure trauma of witnessing sex attack on woman in Haiti. In Haiti. For journalist Mac McClelland, it gripped her body and her mind in such a severe way she had to simulate a violent rape to get over it. She was on a job in Haiti in the aftermath of the 2010 earthquake when she met a woman that she called Sybil, who had been raped at gunpoint and brutally mutilated by a gang of men. After Mac McClelland, 31, accompanied her to her hospital, where the surgeon who performed reconstructive surgery on her told her that she was a slut and deserved what she got, they were on the way back in a taxi when Sybil saw one of the men who raped her. She went into a full paroxysm, wailing and flailing in terror, screaming with her eyes rolling in abject terror. It was at that point that something snapped in Miss McClelland too. Despite the fact that she has seen the impact of sexual violence all around the globe, having reported from the Congo and Burma, this incident was more than she could take. According to ABC, she began progressively enveloped in the classic symptoms of post-traumatic stress, avoidance of feelings, flashbacks, and recurrent thoughts that triggered crying spells. There were smells that made her gag. She couldn't get out of bed in the morning and had nightmares and daymares about rape. The 31-year-old went to see a therapist in her home of San Francisco, and despite getting treatment for post-traumatic stress disorder, she told her therapist that all she wanted to do was have incredibly violent sex. Her therapist suggested that was a good idea, and told her to find someone who she trusted to do it with. Miss McClelland believes that it was that it was this staged violent rape with a close friend that cured her. She even wrote an article about it. She explains how her sexual partner mercilessly pinned her, beat her about the head, and brutally violated her. I did not enjoy it in the way that a person getting screwed normally would. But as it became clear that I could endure it, I started to take deeper breaths. And my mind stayed there, stayed present even when it became painful, even when he suddenly smothered me with a pillow, not to asphyxiate me, but so that he didn't break my jaw when he drew his elbow back and slammed his fist into my face, 2, 3, and 4 times. My body felt devastated but relieved. I had lost but survived. After he climbed off me, he gathered me up in his arms. I broke into 1,000 pieces on his chest, sobbing so hard that my ribs felt like they were coming loose. I was not crazy. I was not crazy. It was a way for me to deal in a sort of simulated but controlled situation. I could say stop at any time. Here's her therapist, by the way. Okay. So this woman witnessed the violent rape of somebody in Haiti, got like third-person traumatic stress disorder from it, decided she had to get raped herself to figure it out. Okay. And then she says, I'm cured, I'm done. Okay. This was 2011. 10 years later, here's the same person. The same individual. Who now goes by, instead of Mac McClelland, it's now Gabriel Mac McClelland. My penis, myself. I didn't need a penis to be a man, but I needed one to be me. Now, I'm not one to say this just wantonly, but there are times when somebody believes that they're trans and they're not actually trans, and something else is happening, and they think that transitioning is the way to deal with it, and it may or may not be, but they're experiencing something else, not gender dysphoria. And I have a feeling, just as a hunch, this might be one of those times. On the day I heard that my penis would be huge, I sobbed. In the car outside the doctor's office afterward, I bent my torso in half and bawled, my face against the dashboard, my boyfriend petting my back to console me but confused. Isn't it good news that they can do it? Obviously, yes, it was. I grew up without one. I thought, or maybe convinced myself, that mine would grow in later, to the extent that when I see a woman in tight pants, I still often instinctively think, where's her penis? But my period at 12 aptly, agonizingly bled to death that increasingly implausible dream of reconciling with life, with God, that he wouldn't make me like this and leave me like this forever. So the news, 28 years later, that the agony was going to be over was a bit much to take in. I was so different from everybody else. I was already always so different. Oh my God. Phalloplasty in general, it was clear, was hard for people to accept. Well, I will love you no matter what, sweetie, a cis female best friend of mine said. As long as you don't get a dick. One friend flatly demanded, don't get a dick. It was another trans masculine person, someone that I used to know, saying disgusting, insane, or want to have a surgeon make a sensate phallus out of your arm or leg and frankenstitch it to your body, to go so far out of your way to opt into a tool, perhaps the tool, of so much suffering. Most trans masculine people didn't get one. I saw transmasculine support groups shut down and go silent more than once when someone brought up the procedure, and later, when I was that someone, I was twice invited to leave with other people who might want to talk about that. Whatever magical spectrum of unicorn gender expression was otherwise being embraced, it ended firmly before needing a socially, culturally, politically, historically, personally, emotionally, medically complicated dick. But I did, and I couldn't outrun it any longer. I don't entirely know how to feel about this. Oh my God. One person says, my whole dick feels like a giant clit. That's something that comes out of a fucking hentai. Oh, God. Please don't read the rest. I'm like, I don't know. But like, you can see where the cutout was right here in the thigh. That's where the dick came from. And I think actually, not Stone Toss, but another guy who does comics, G Prime, he did a comic about this, I think. And it was kind of funny. But you take this article, you put it together with this article. Okay? And I said before, there are times when a person is not trans, something else is happening with them, and they think that transitioning will alleviate their problems. But the problem is not that they're trans. And I think this is one of those times. But no one wants to say that anymore. Like, there are people who are actually trans, okay? Like, for example, Lilith, 100% trans. She is absolutely trans. Transitioning is what solves her problem. And like, transitioning is treatment in her case. But there are a lot of fucking people who are not trans. They have something else wrong with them. And they think that transitioning will help them, and it won't. Harry for 5, thank you. Odd question. Are you a fan of Record of Ragnarok? I don't know what that is. As a martial artist, fight 5. I knew who would win because the human using god is using sumo. I don't know what that is, man. I'm sorry. Another 5, thank you. I hated fight 5. I'm paying for a friend to redo the whole fight with me as the champion fighting for humanity's survival because I'm not a sumo guy. I don't get it, but thank you for the donations. Okay. Let's continue to the final article. That's going to be a bit more fun, okay? A bit more fun. The Ghostbusters Ultimate Gift Set doesn't include Ghostbusters 2016, and that's a huge problem. No, it's not. Jason Reitman and Gil Kennan's Ghostbusters Afterlife is one of the most polarizing releases of the year. No, it's not. People love that movie. People love the new Ghostbusters. With plenty finding the film to be a love letter to their childhood favorite, and others seeing nothing more than an empty shell filled with nostalgia. That is what Ghostbusters 2016... Oh my god, this article is fucking infuriating. It brought home over 173.6 million worldwide, an impressive feat considering how many people are still avoiding the theaters as the pandemic rages on. And Ghostbusters Afterlife is coming to Blu-ray on February 1st, 2022. A 3-film standard Blu-ray, including Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters 2, and Ghostbusters Afterlife will be available, as well as the 8-disc Ghostbusters Ultimate Collection box set, complete with a copy of the book Making Ghostbusters. There's one glaring omission from both of these special releases: Paul Feig's Ghostbusters 2016. I know a lot of people despise the 2016 Ghostbusters movie, and I'm not here to try to convince anyone to feel a certain way about it, but omitting the film from a box set called the Ultimate Collection is factually inaccurate, straight up disrespectful to anyone who worked in that film, and is one hell of a problematic act of blatant erasure. Oh, dude, Artificial Joni, you have no idea what happened in 2016, do you? Social media has been filled with people going for the gold and mental gymnastics trying to justify why 2016 Ghostbusters shouldn't or doesn't deserve to be included. And all of those people need to jump into the pond if they're going to keep acting like a silly goose. The biggest reason that has been brought up as a way to deflect from their blatant erasure has been that the film takes place in a different universe and therefore isn't canon. What the actual hell has canon ever mattered when it comes to a box set? The complete Halloween box set not only includes sequels that retcon previous entries and turn the following canon into an MXC-style obstacle course, but also includes Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, a film that doesn't even include Michael Myers. Yes, but retcon is not the same as alternate universe. That's the difference. I genuinely hate the exclusion of the 2016 from this set. No, fuck you. It sucked. It's a bad movie. It's fucking awful. This is a terrible fucking movie. I recently watched it with Naomi. It's a terrible fucking movie. Here's Paul Feig coping. Sony Pictures, I know this must be a mistake. We do have a lot of fans, and Bill, Dan, and Ernie were in our movie, and it won the Kids' Choice Award for Best Feature Film the year it came out. Is it an oversight that my movie wasn't put into the Ghostbusters compilation? Check this person out. This is why I don't participate in Ghostbusters fandom anymore. The complete disregard for women. I know where I'm not wanted. Yeah. Yeah, you're not wanted. Not because you're a woman. Not because you're a woman. But because you can't respect the original canon. That's why. There is a positive side to gatekeeping. And it is that not everything is for everybody. That's it. Ghostbusters is for Ghostbusters fans. Fuck you. So, and also people keep saying that, like, you're erasing women. You're erasing women. You do realize that the main character of Ghostbusters 2016 is this person here, right? It's a young girl. She's like a 10-year-old girl or something. She is the main character of Ghostbusters. Sorry, Ghostbusters Afterlife. She's the main character. So, what women are being erased? Exactly. Fucking hell, dude. All right. That's all the articles I have for you today. As always, you want to join the $5 Club in Discord? A $5 monthly recurring tip to Patreon subscribestar, the YouTube memberships button, or the twitch.tv gaming channel, Game Boomers, or $100 USD directly to my PayPal, put you into the $5 Club for life. Send a box of stuff to P.O. Box, my P.O. Box, and I will open it on the stream. If you want to support the channel, that's how you support the channel. Let's go over a super chats. Though I think there was not many super chats this time around. Don't worry, I mean, I'm not complaining. It's just that I think I went over most of them already. So let me pull the super chats up, but I think there's only a couple to do. Let me find the super chats. Sip on your coffees, guys, while I do it. Slurp. Monetization. Supers. Here we go. Okay. I am wrong for €5. Thank you very much. Let's see what you have to say about it. Off topic. Why is this so small? Oh, let me fix this. +1 super chat from Stug. Thank you for the $2. Off topic, says I am wrong. What would you recommend for someone such as myself to do when wanting to get into PC gaming? At this point, fucking wait. Like, there seems to be a transistor shortage or whatever, or silicon shortage for the next year. So, like, buying a good PC fucking is brutal right now. Good luck finding any kind of electronics at the moment. Like, if it were a regular time, I would say if you know how to build a computer, always build your own computer. But if you don't, there are some decent pre-built options out there. But, like, everything's so expensive right now, dude. Like, fuck. Astro sends $5 with no message. Well, thank you very much, Astro. Harry the Human Substitute sends £5. It's a manga with humanity and gods fighting in a tournament for humanity's survival. Jack Ripper is a champion, Lubu Adam from the Book of Genesis. Oh, I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. But it sounds like you're having fun. Wilson, for $5, sends, instead of apologizing, the judge should act like a Florida man. Female reporter by day, Florida man by night. Merry Christmas, Dev. Thank you very much, dude. 50027 for $2. Thank you. Japan needs to take revenge and nuke the West. Are you kidding me? Why? Grigor Chopin for $2 or €2. Merry post-Christmas, you fat fuck. Hope things get good. Things are good. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, guys, I am streaming tonight on Game Boomers. Naomi and Eric are continuing Yakuza 2. Make sure you're there. Twitch.tv/GameBoomers. Yeah, I'll type it in the thing. Be there tonight. Losers. I'll pin it too. Make sure you're there, okay? Where is back super chats? Okay. I've read all these ones. I think there's a few in the middle that I didn't see. I think Stug for $2. He's scanning my items menacingly. I want to see like a JoJo, like do, and just like the dude like moving in slow motion, just throwing items. Xerxes for $5. Merry Christmas, Dev. I think I said that, but thank you very much. I'm here for you, not your politics. Like your local number subjects, I find you want to do movie reviews. Well, thank you, Distance. I will consider doing movie reviews. I'm gonna review Cuties. Have you review Cuties? Thanks for all your vids from a DACA Mexican. What's DACA again? Oh, is that the Dreamer thing? Okay, Jesus. Thanks, buddy. I think that's it. I think that's all the super chats. Okay, guy. The super chat isn't fake. Here, I'll sip right now. Listen to it. It's not fake. It's not fucking fake. Fuck you. Okay. I have one last gulp of coffee left, and then it's time for us to go. Done. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching the Weekly Sip. Hope you had a good Christmas. Hope you'll stick around with me into the new year. Drop by Game Boomers tonight. We're playing more Yakuza 2. Have a good day, everyone. I love you.